For weeks now, Nigerians felt the unprecedented. What began as a call for the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu quickly morphed into something far bigger, a national reckoning, a public test of power, justice, and mobilization. On the calendar, October 20, 2025, the day set aside for a major protest march to the presidential villa in Abuja. The man behind the march, Omoyole Sowore, formerly of the African Action Congress, now leading the cry under the banner #Free Nnamdi Kanu Now. The momentum seemed building. Major voices, thousands of social media posts, hopes in the air. Yet, in an unexpected turn, some of the most influential bodies in the student and Igbo stakeholder space came out to say, "No, not us." The National Association of Nigerian Students issued a formal statement declaring that they are not and they would not be part of the protest. At a press conference in Ibadan, their president, Comrade Olushola Oladoja, called the linking of NAS to the protest false, mischievous, and politically motivated. "We remain a student body," he said, "and not a platform of partisan agitation." Simultaneously, the apex Igbo cultural body, Ohanaeze Ndigbo, together with Southeast governors and ministers from the zone, issued a joint communique distancing themselves from the October 20th plan. They claimed they had credible intelligence that the protest was a thinly veiled attempt to exploit the Igbo cause for destabilization. The language was strong. They warned of a repeat of the EndSARS riots, the potential for violence, and the danger of unsuspecting youth being used as pawns. Why this rejection? Why does this group step away at a moment where the calls for Nnamdi Kanu's release seems universal? The answer lies in multiple layers. First, the ongoing battle of Nnamdi Kanu's case is in court. He faces terrorism, treasonable felony, and incitement charges. The court system is engaged, and NAS argued it would be irresponsible for them to mobilize students for a legal issue still before a competent court. Our focus is on education, youth development, and peace, stated Oladoja. Secondly, local political dynamics. Some Igbo elites and stakeholders felt that the protest plan was linked more to political actors, Atiku Abubakar and others, than to the grassroots Igbo agenda. They feared that a mobilization of this scale could be hijacked, turned violent, or manipulated for objectives other than Kanu's release. The caution wasn't just strategic, it was expressed as a moral responsibility to protect the zone. Third, the image of the Nigerian students and youths. NAS declared they would not allow their name to be used to lend credibility to what they called selfish and politically motivated individuals. They appealed to parents and guardians to warn students against being used or lured into protest under false parentheses. As the date does near, the tension is real. On one side, a building protest, the march to Abuja, the banners, and the promise of solidarity. On the other side, institutional disclaimers, rejection, finger-pointing at hidden agendas. What you have is not only a protest, but a contest over who owns the cause, who controls the narrative, and who leads the real demand for justice. What does this mean for October 20th plan? If NAS remains uninvolved and Igbo elites stay on the sidelines, the dynamics of the protest shifts. It may have the passion of a movement, but it lacks the full alignment of major students, bodies, and regional leadership. The risks of it turning into something chaotic may rise, and the protest legitimacy may be challenged from within. For viewers, if you're watching this in Lagos, Enugu, Onitsha, or in diaspora, the message is clear. You're asked to show up, to march, to demand release, but you're also cautioned. Check the motives, check the leadership, know why you are moving. Because in a nation where protest becomes a tool, those tactics can flip. What starts as justice can become spectacle. The question remains, will the protest unify under a clear, peaceful agenda and maintain its focus? Or will the lack of institutional backing fracture it, delay outcomes, and give the state justification to intervene? More importantly, can the legal route and the public march work together, or are they pulling in different directions? In the past few years, we've seen how protests spiral. The anger is genuine, the cause urgent, but channels matter. A well-organized movement can unlock a change. A chaotic one can awaken state fear and repression. The story is not yet over. The protest date is fixed, the tension is high, and the players are many. For students who say no to the mobilization, for the cultural bodies that decline to march, for the activists pushing forward, each voice matters. But so does the question: who leads, who listens, and who decides? As you bear witness, ask yourself, what is your role? Will you stand in the front lines of history or in the sidelines of legacy? Share your thoughts below, subscribe for more deeper updates, and keep watching as the story unveils. Justice is not guaranteed, but
free Nnamdi Kanu protest slated for October 20th. We wish to state categorically and unequivocally that NANS is not and will not be part of any protest organized or influenced by Omoyele Sowore or any other political motivated group or individual. The entire claim is false, mysterious, and designed to drag the name of our noble association into political controversies that do not align with our mandate as a student body. As the umbrella body representing all Nigerian students, both home and abroad, NANS believes strongly in the role of law, due process, and peaceful engagement. We understand the matter concerning Nnamdi Kanu is a legal issue currently before a competent court of law, and it would therefore be inappropriate, unlawful, and irresponsible for NANS to take a partisan position or mobilize any form of protest on the matter before the judiciary. Whatever Mr. Sowore and his group are planning or doing is not for their own political interest and has absolutely nothing to do with NANS. We advise him and his co-traveler to stop using the name of NANS to give credibility to their political driving agenda. Our focus as a responsible student organization remains on education, youth development, peace, and national unity, not partisan agitation. We therefore call on parents and guardians across the country to warn their children and warn not to be deceived or lured into joining any protest sponsored by greedy and self-serving politicians who do not mean well for the nation or the student community. These individuals exploit the vulnerability and energy of young people for personal gain while abandoning them when crisis erupts. We also urge the general public, the media, and the security agency to disregard any publication or message claiming that NANS is mobilizing for a protest related to Nnamdi Kanu or any other political motivated cause. Our focus is on constructive engagement, peaceful education, advocacy, and developmental initiatives that will contribute meaningfully to the progress of our education system and the future of Nigerian youth. In conclusion, NANS remains a united, law-abiding, and patriotic association committed to this peace, progress, and prosperity of Nigeria. We will continue to champion the interests of the students through dialogue